Hello, everyone, and good morning. Welcome to our live feed update for September 1st. I'm your host, Taran Armstrong, and I'm here today to update you on everything that happened yesterday on the Big Brother 27 live feeds. It was day 55 in the house. And oh boy, there's so much to talk about. So much happened. It was truly a ridiculously chaotic night, and there are lots of decisions being made and allegiances and really, really dumb things and a lot of really pathetic whining. And with me to talk about it all is Chappell. How you doing, Chappell?
I'm good, Taryn. I'm good. I brought my M&Ms, and so I'm going to figure out what the hell was happening yesterday as well. I'm ready. I'm set up, and I'm happy to
Okay.
talk about this. Taryn, this is our day. I don't know. People don't know this because I don't do a lot of live feed updates, but Labor
Mm.
Day, tag me in. I don't know what it is about today that I always just kind of like, let's go talk to Taryn. Let's get in his world. So let's see what you've been talking about.
On Labor Day, you go and do some labor on the live feed
Yeah.
update.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be doing more labor too. I think this is just going to be a Chappelle heavy day. If you are not a Chappelle fan, today is not the day for you. You're going to hear a lot from me today.
Yes. Well, there really is so much to get to. Keanu, of course, is the HOH. He nominated Mickey, Morgan, and Vince, but Morgan won the veto. She plans to use it on herself, but that is a bit of a topic for the day, as there are some other plans to try to get her to use it on Vinny instead. I talked about that a bit yesterday, and I said, it's a really dumb plan, and it's really not worth getting into too much because, these things usually don't work, and it's a really dumb plan, and it's really messy, and who wants to bother with it? But guess what? Today we got to bother with it,
We're
so
going to get
stay
into
tuned.
it. We're getting all into it, Taryn. You said, hey, that would be a crazy thing. And then they said, let's explore it. Let me hold your hand as I take you through this day.
Yeah, yeah. So many storylines through the day. Of course, the big storyline of the week, theoretically, is where is Ava's vote? Because with Morgan having the veto, at least one of her or Vince is coming off the block, and Ashley is the intended replacement, which means that Rachel, Will, and Mickey, three of the four votes they need would be voting to keep Ashley, but they need Ava to lock in as their fourth. And as of the morning of day 55, she was their fourth. She had told Lauren the night before that she is not voting to keep Vinny if he's against Ashley. However, Lauren, in the morning of day 55, does not tell Vince about this. He actually asks her directly if she talked to Ava, what Ava said, and Lauren gave him nothing. This, of course, is very smart of Lauren because this could have been used as ammunition to get Ava on the block, which is not better for Lauren's game if Ava is up there. And so I was like, oh, look at Lauren being passive, but good passive.
Yeah, some people say, hey, there's ammo against me that you should not use. I'm going to keep that to myself. But other people say, here's some ammo that you can use against me. Oh, dear God, I hope you don't use that against me. And then we go on to see people use ammo against them throughout the entire day.
Mm-hmm. I think this is one of the first real examples I've seen of Lauren putting into practice what she is preaching in the episodes, which is I no longer really trust Vinny. We'll see how long it lasts and how much it actually is impacting her game beyond just not telling him some things, because it's not like she's branching out socially. But it's certainly something, and genuinely a very impactful piece of information that is not being told to Vinny during this day, and will have lasting ramifications on the week potentially.
Yeah, most people say they don't trust Vinny and then they still tell him stuff. Or they say, I don't trust Vinny, and then the next day they're kind of still back in bed with Vinny. But this is somebody saying, I don't trust him. Look at him. He's not trustworthy. We shouldn't tell him things. I know I should be aligned with him, but that doesn't mean he has to know everything about me. And it's going to be beneficial for Lauren. It is not going to be beneficial for everyone else.
Mm-hmm. So Mickey talks to Keanu, and this is pretty important because again, the whole idea, this like back and forth with the renom is that they're trying to convince Keanu to put Ava on the block or Lauren because the judges have the votes to evict Ava over, over Vinny. Theoretically, that's the idea. And Mickey also feels like the votes are there with Ava versus Ashley. She likes Ava, but she likes Ashley more. She also would like for Ava to go up. The judges are all trying to get everyone to coordinate to get Ava on the block or to get Lauren on the block, which is the real preference. And so the problem with this is that the more they push Ava, the more dirt people like Keanu have to use on Ava to flip her vote to make sure that Ashley leaves in the event that she's on the block at the end of the week. And so they have to be very careful about this. And so, of course, Mickey is theoretically like a safe third party to throw, to have like push for this information because Ava already hates Mickey. And so she goes to Keanu and basically gives the pitch. I mean, they have this conversation like, oh, well, we're working together now. And, like, oh, I know you put me up on the block, but we're going to be fine and all of this stuff. And so if you want me to be safe and you want Vinny to be safe, your best option, I actually think, is Ava. He's like, wow, really? Ava? Yeah, I think that I'd have more of a chance against Ava than against Ashley. And for Keanu, he's like, wow, interesting. I wonder what that means about how you all feel about Ava.
Yeah, I appreciated Mickey's attempt because she's saying like, from the outside looking in, like I'm not extremely close to Ashley. I don't have a horse in this race, but from what it looks like for me, Rachel would be upset if you put Ashley up, and you don't want to upset Rachel. I understand y'all got a thing going on, so there's got to be another option out there for you. Ava's fine, Ava's fine, and Keanu, sadly, is going to understand that throughout the day, these people are trying to put Ava in on the chopping block, which of course we've seen from jump. Keanu's going to do what he wants to do, but also now he's gaining momentum on, okay, well, if I want Ava to do what I want to do, and if I want her to work with me, it's great to know that a lot of you don't mind if she goes up and possibly goes home.
Yeah, I mean, basically, they're using the same playbook that they have used all season, and it's worked on players like Lauren and Vinny to pressure them into doing what the house wants. But Keanu is the opposite kind of player. He wants to do the opposite of what the house wants because he wants to build his own little resistance. And so the more you all push for Ava, the less he wants Ava to go on the block. This is all counterproductive, not only with Keanu himself, but again, with keeping Ava as a swing vote. They should not be pushing Ava. It is Big Brother 101. You do not fall into this trap. However, many of them are. And so Keanu, of course, runs this right back to Ava. He pulls her out of the room and he says, hey, Ava, just so you know, or sorry, he goes into the have not room. Just so you know, Mickey was just pitching to me that you should go on the block. And, Rachel and, Ashley was pitching for you to go up on the block. And she's like, well, frankly, that is what it is. I get it. And so Mickey was pitching on the block too. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, but Mickey is saying that she has a better chance against you than against Ashley, which means they all plan to vote you out. All of them. Like, oh, okay. Like Will too. Like Will's gonna vote you out. Rachel's gonna vote you out. Like Mickey's not gonna say that unless she thinks that she has those votes. She's like, wow, okay. Thanks, Keanu.
He's telling her that she's expendable, and he's trying to get her to come play ball with him. Like, hey, by seeing this, now Ava should be thinking, okay, if there's any truth to what he's saying, then I'm no longer aligned with those people. I am expendable to them. I need to go be an unexpendable with a former unexpendable. And so that's what he's trying to pull out of her. But I don't know. I like Ava enough, but she just lacks teeth in the game. It's like she won the HOH one time, so we thought she was locked in. But there's just so many times where it just feels like She doesn't really have a vested interest in what's going on. I find it really hard to root for people in Big Brother who just don't care about Big Brother. And there's just times where it makes it really hard for me to root for Ava. But there's so many other people that I can't root for before her, so she can stay. Like I'd rather Kelly be gone any day of the week. Like there are just other people who will just take priority to me over Ava going home. So this is kind of hard to watch.
Yeah, I mean, she basically gives him nothing in response to this. She's like, okay, thanks, Keanu. And he walks out of the room. He's like, nailed it. She goes to Will afterward, later in the day, and says, Keanu came up to me. He was like, Mickey is saying she has the votes if you go up on the block. And Will just laughs. And then she laughs with him because how ridiculous. Of course, Mickey thinks she has the votes. That's so silly. What a silly thing for her to think, if that's even true. Meanwhile, Keanu is going and telling Kelly and Lauren, I think I've got Ava. I made some real progress with her today.
He should be making progress with her, though. That's the thing. Like, he might be wrong, but I still think that, Ava, you should be looking at this as, how do I preserve myself? Now, to be fair, Mickey always thinks she has the votes to stay. She always does. Now, I don't think there's any way you could change her mind. We've seen Mickey on eviction night win a blockbuster and not know how close she was to going home. But again, we're so close to jury. I really think that if someone is giving you information like this, and there might be a modicum of truth to it, you might want to start, like, I'm not saying hedge, but definitely start to look at your allies and think, okay, how does it benefit them to keep me around versus how does it benefit me to keep these other people around? And you're not always going to be up against Mickey. The blockbuster's still a thing. You could end up against somebody else, and God knows what happens then.
Yeah. So that is the progress on Ava so far. But that is far from the end of the day. Rachel gives a pep talk to Vince, because he's just a sad little boy.
I'm so tired. No. Let me stop this right now. Let me stop you right there. I listen to this update all the time. I'm so damn tired of people giving Vinny like pep talks. This man don't need no pep talk. He is good at what he does. This man is a skilled scammer, a manipulator. This man is out here playing with
I'm
going
to stop you right here. There's nothing skilled about Vince.
There is a skill to make people want to go out of their way to hoist you up when you are outside destroying them. You are out here backstabbing these people at every turn, and then you are crying in their faces, and it is so transparent. And people are still like, Vinny, you gotta step it up. Vinny, you gotta look at, like, y'all should have. I'm gonna say it, y'all should have slapped shit. Somebody should have told Vinny to grow up here, and I wouldn't talk to Vinny again. There would be no relationship between Chappell and Vinny. I'm not doing the pep talk. I don't care about your purpose and I don't care about the Keanu elevator speeches he's giving. Stop coddling this man. This is a grown ass man. I'm embarrassed, but I'm embarrassed that y'all keep buying into it. I stopped talking to him. Rachel, get away from this man. He's not well. Okay, I'm sorry. It's just sickening. It is. Grow up. Seek help.
Well, she's giving him a pep talk. Vince, you need to lock in, okay? You need to figure your shit out. We need you in this game. Now, of course, she's doing this because she wants Ashley here. She does not want Ashley to go on the block, and she's trying to get Vince to frickin' do something to prevent Ashley from going up on the block. She basically says Keanu's only going to listen to you, which is true because he's a man, and says, I need you to figure it out, Vince. I need you to lock in. We need to make sure Ashley doesn't go on the block so that you can stay in this game. He's like, oh yeah, okay. Thank you. I needed that. I get really down on myself sometimes.
If he believed it, Taran, then I would be a little bit more forgiving. But this man does not believe anything that he's saying. This man, I can't. He will say anything. This man, you could give this man your kidney, and he would legit give it to somebody else. Like, he wouldn't even use it for himself. He would give it to somebody else and be like, "Oh my God, I still need."
No, he would take it for himself and continue to beg somebody else for their kidney, also, just in case the one you gave doesn't work.
Another one that I don't even need. Oh my God, just a kidneyless, like spineless. Like what, sir? What are we doing? Stop. Get away from him. This man is not okay.
He'd beg you and beg you for a kidney. You'd be like, I'm really scared because I have a medical condition. Because I need it though. I'm gonna die. And then you'll finally give in and give him the kidney and find out later he was weeks away from getting one on the list. And it was like, but, and then he'd be like, I know, I just got so scared. I couldn't wait those weeks. I'm so sorry.
I'm so kidney selfish. It's me. I'm the problem. Please don't be mad at me. My 2 or more kidneys couldn't handle it. Like, that's why I'm sick of him. I'm sick of him because this man, it's the same old shit. Same old shit. Same old fucking shit every week. I'm so tired of it. It's tiring.
But the thing is also he talks himself into it too. Like he manipulates himself. Like he fully believes what he's doing.
It's not a lie if you believe it, Taran.
To listen to the way he's talking about Morgan later is just wild. And also, by the way, oh my God, I almost forgot about this. Before Keanu came in to talk to Ava, she was talking with Vince because they're both have-nots in the have-not room. Or at least they're both in the have-not room together at the time. And Vince is like knowing that Ava is a potential swing, but like trying to like start initiating conversation with her. And so she's starting to like, he's just trying to do like some small talk, but it's super awkward because he doesn't know how to talk to people when he's not talking game and begging for things. And it's just like, yeah, so what do you like to do? It's just very weird. Ava starts bringing up like, yeah, so, it's just so weird that like the real world is still happening, and they're watching everything that we're doing. And Vinny is like, yeah, I've been thinking about them lately. And she's like, did you keep your Instagram open? And he says, oh, I don't know. I just gave that to Kelsey. I just, told her she can do whatever she wants with it. Hey, Kelsey, open up my Instagram.
Oh, Vinny, I don't have much to say about this because y'all know I'm team true love in whatever capacity that means. But this is tough. I don't know, Taran. These people watch the show, some of them. These people go to ChatGPT and get the summaries of the show. Then they get to the producers. They do interviews for the show. They audition for the show. They do all this kind of stuff. And then they get in the house. And then I have to hear people like Kelly being like, so when the live feeds are on, they can just hear us talking. Like they can hear conversations. It's like, yes, we can. It's like, oh. And Vinny is the one explaining this to like Kelly. It's like, just unedited footage of us talking. Really. Yep. Talking, cuddling, hugging, all that stuff unedited. They can hear all of these conversations. And yet somehow these people just forget. And I just don't understand why.
Kelly did learn about this. And I'm not even kidding. She looked like she was scared out of her mind when she found this out. And she has been considerably more subdued for the rest of the day since she learned that the live feeds actually show everything. And it's uh-oh.
I've got bitches quaking.
I came in hot today, ready to be like, look at this crazy person, Kelly. Do y'all see this? Do y'all see how unwell y'all sound when y'all be like, I want a Keanu HOH. I need Kelly on this house. And then today, for her to be like, or yesterday, I guess, for her to be like, oh, no, they can see me. I should start acting normal. I was like, no, Kelly, bring her back. Bring back the old Kelly, because I got some stuff to say about her. It's fascinating to me that this always happens. I hope it never stops happening. I told Rob, I think Taran, I was like, hey, I just feel like the ultimate goal is while you're in the house, convince the other people that the live feeds are not a thing. Like, get these people acting as wild and crazy as you possibly can while you pretend to be normal. We saw Dan do it in season 10. I mean, those people knew the feeds. They just didn't care. But just be normal amongst crazy people, and the game will just breeze on by. You will just look up. You'll be in jury. You'll be America's favorite, something like that. And these people would eat it up. They'd eat it with a spoon. There's no reason that we should be 50-something days into this game, and people are still like, so the cameras are on, you say? So you mean when I said that awful thing about Rachel, and then I tried to act like I was like the victim, people are gonna know that I'm lying? People are gonna see that? Oh, okay. I thought when you said there was a billion cameras in here and there's live feeds that like the producers were just watching it. Skippy's just making a home video collection. My bad.
Yeah, because you just know she was ready and prepped to be like come out of the house and say, "Yeah, guys, the producers showed me in the diary room the footage. You guys didn't see it, but it was bad of what Rachel did to me."
The live feeders at home, they don't see everything. That's because like that would be the reason why they would be live feeders. But no, they don't see everything. That's the edited show. Then there's the edited show, which is kind of not so far off, but still, like, we see enough, y'all. Come on, man. We can't keep having this conversation every year.
So yeah, so Vince, when talking to Ava, because they're like, "Oh, well, I wonder what our families are thinking of us," and Vince is even like, "Yeah, I mean, I hope good things, like I don't think I've done anything too bad."
Look, again, don't get me on here saying about pushing my agenda here, because like I said, I'm here for Team True Love and whatever that means. And I don't think I see anything. It ain't my business, it ain't my relationship, but I ain't seen nothing that was too crazy yet. But it is tiptoeing on too crazy for some people, I will say.
I think Will disagrees, Chappell.
Yeah, Will definitely disagrees. But again, Will is there, and I am not. And I get to watch this from the comfort of my home as TV characters, and he knows this man in real life, and he's gonna have to be there at the end of the season when he's crying to Will. We're like, Will, I'm so sorry, I didn't even know that. Yeah, these people are gonna have a little aftercare with Vinny after the season is over, I'm sure.
So, okay, back to the story of the day. Rachel has given Vinny a pep talk, pumped him up. You need to get up there and convince Keanu to do someone other than Ashley. So Vince goes up and talks to Keanu, and instead of doing that, throws Rachel under the bus and says, "Hey, Rachel is trying to get Ava on the block and says she'll vote for me to stay over Ava. So we should use this to get Ava's vote." Essentially, going all in on the let's use this information to flip Ava rather than actually trying to convince Keanu to do something different, which I still personally feel is a mistake. I do think there is a chance they can get Ava, but the odds of him staying over Ava are just higher. And I don't know why he's so set on trying to go down this path without even really trying the other one. It's a little strange to me. I don't really think it's the move for him, but it is what he is trying to do. But don't worry, he's got another idea as well.
Yeah. So what do you think your preferred move would be for him right now? Because they're, like you said, they're all in on the, okay, we can get Ava, we can do this, but it's such a dangerous game that they're playing.
The thing is that the reason why they're all pushing Vince to do this so much is because Vince is the person who is the safest person to actually push Ava. Vince can push Ava all he wants, and if Keanu doesn't do it, there's no loss for Vince because Keanu will not rat Vince out to Ava because he wants Vince to stay. So Vince can push Ava over and over. He can make stuff up about Ava. He can tell Keanu that Ava doesn't actually like him all that much because, everyone knows this. He can do all kinds of things to get Ava on the block. And Ava is just more likely to go home next to him than Ashley is at this point. And so I think there's zero downside to continuing to explore this option. But instead, he is locking in on the Ashley option and trying to figure out the Ava situation. Because the reality is, if we're going to step back even further, that he doesn't really care who the replacement is, because all he's actually focused on is, can I get the veto used on me?
Mm-hmm. He is going to be, man, see, as much trash as I just talked about Vinny as such a whiny baby in this game, and it's heavily documented at this point. When he sets his eyes on something, and you can kind of see the light switch go off in his brain, when there's something too shiny for him to ignore. And this time it is that veto and the idea that although Morgan has it, there's a non-zero chance that she would play it on him. And just throughout the day, knowing that little seed is planted in his head, it does color the way you watch every last one of his interactions, because that no matter what he's telling these people, I don't care if Julie Chen walk in and evict 3 of y'all today, give me that veto. I don't care who it is. I don't care how many kidneys you give me. I want it. I don't care if You know, like everything else be damned. Showmans, no mans, I don't care. I want the gold. And so I that's the thing I enjoy about Vinny is that he it seems like he takes his eye off the ball in a lot of situations, but he will always pick him over these other people.
Yeah, the problem for Vince is that he has the persuasive abilities of an 8-year-old boy who is telling you that he'll die if he doesn't get the last piece of cake. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, genuinely, those are the same strategies that Vince employs. Yes. And he's relying on Keanu to do the heavy lifting here because he's not capable of it himself. And Keanu has the persuasive abilities of, I guess, the bull that Riley rides. So again, like the two of these people actually making something happen, it seems like a pretty wild idea. But this is Keanu's idea. He is the one that proposes it in the first place. It's just that Vinny like lights up when he hears about it every time. And he continues to like ignore any other pitching and strategizing in favor of listening to Keanu's idea about convincing Morgan to use the veto on him. The idea being, okay, what if I tell Morgan that I will put Lauren on the block as the replacement, but only if she uses the veto on you, Vince? And he's like, yes. Wow, that's brilliant. I think that's a great idea. And Keanu's like, okay, but I would need to like, you know, be like, why? This is why you need to use the veto on Vince. He's like, yeah, I'm not sure it makes any sense. I mean, what is the reason? It's like, well, it would have to be that her using the veto on you means that she guaranteed stays, but you don't guaranteed stay. And then Vinny's like trying to propose different ideas for convincing Morgan, and Keanu's just like, no, that's stupid. That doesn't make any sense. And then Keanu comes up with his own versions, and they continue to workshop like that in circles for a while. Eventually, they come around to just a very vague notion of, I will only put Lauren on the block if you use the veto on Vince because it makes more sense that way. Is essentially just like what they've come up with. And Keanu's going to kind of wing it when he talks to Morgan. But first he needs to warn Lauren about the plan. So he goes and talks to Lauren and tells her, hey, this is the plan that we're going to do. I'm going to say I'm willing to put you up, but don't worry. If you hear that, I'm not putting you up. Don't worry about it. And she's like, okay.
Yeah. Lauren also thinks this plan is insane. She's like, all right, well, good luck with that. But Taran, we've seen plans like this before in other games where sadly they have worked. I'm thinking Suri in Micronesia, you know, she's got this ensemble of women and they're like, Eric Reichenbach, we will vote with you, but only if you take off the necklace. Only if you expose yourself do we know that at that point we can trust you enough to vote with you. So you don't have to go. He's like, do I have to give up the necklace? Yeah, you have to give up the necklace. Like, well, why? Because it makes sense to us, right? And we'll like you more. He's like, oh, okay. And sheepishly takes off the necklace, and now he's been a meme for 40 years at this point. And you knowing that that's already happened, knowing that we have reality TV precedent for things like this happening, knowing that we just saw somebody not use the veto on themselves earlier this season, you would think that this is a non-starter, and yet we start the conversation.
Well, I mean, like the idea behind that, and even the Marcellus before him, is like very, very talented players using their relationship with the person to convince them that it's either a show of good faith or a test of their character, or you know, something along those lines. Then you have some of the lesser impressive ones, Jed, and this one, where the pitch is, as we will get to, it begins like this. Morgan goes and talks to Keanu, and they talk about keeping Vinny. And he says, you know, I do want Vinny to stay, but I know if I put up Lauren, he will, but I can't. That's just burning one bridge for another. And she says, ooh. She's like, oh, okay, this is like an opening to try to get you to put up. You're actually willing to maybe put up Lauren. let me pull out my M&Ms and I'm going to convince you why you should put up Lauren. And he says, yeah, that does make sense. But, and that's why if Vinny had won the veto, my plan was to put up Lauren. Yeah, because that would have been trading 2 allies for 1. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, you can still do that. He's like, but that's just, but if the veto, if it's not Vinny coming off, then that's just doing the same thing I was mad at Vinny for. She's like, imagine if I took Vinny off. Well, that's actually what I was going to talk to you about, Morgan.
Funny you mentioned that.
Because I can't trade 1 for 1, but I can trade 2 for 1.
She's like, what do you mean by that? Like,
No,
for a
she
second,
isn't.
for a second, Taran, I thought this is going nowhere. Taran, this went too many places. We should not, whatever.
I also thought it was going nowhere. And while this was happening, Ava was talking with Ashley, and I was like, this is more important. Surely Morgan and Keanu are not going anywhere. He's talking about 2 for 1. She says, well, okay, I'm going to use the veto on myself, Keanu. But let's just entertain for a moment.
No.
I mean, isn't it the same scenario with me coming off the block and him coming off the block? And he says, no, because I can't trade 1 for 1. I can only trade 2 for 1. I see what you're saying. What?
No.
Morgan, can you please show your work on that one?
Well, she has her M&Ms, Taran. She has the M&Ms. If anybody's going to show their work, it's Morgan. Even though the work is like, I see the math, but it's not adding up. It's like the more he says 2 for 1, it like simplifies this in a way where she's like, well, that's better to understand. I like that. I like the little, it's like his catchphrase. It's like, well, there are you and Vinny, or it's just Lauren. Like, it's like, I need both of you in on this one. And so she's like, yeah, let me go on that journey with you. Like, stop going on the journey. There's no point in you doing this. Anybody who tells you not to use the veto on yourself does not have your best interests at heart.
So here's the thing. I have a couple of times now on my stream and on the podcast last night, I've attempted to give you the interpretation, the translation of what this whole 2 for 1 thing means in the way that makes the most amount of logical sense. But I don't think that that's actually doing you, the listener, a service, because that's me assigning meaning to a thing that doesn't actually have meaning. Because Keanu himself, as we will later find out, doesn't even know what this means himself. He doesn't know what this means. He said it a couple of times. Morgan said, I see what you're saying. That makes sense. And he went, oh, and just started repeating it, not knowing what about it made sense to her, just kept repeating the line. And I'm not kidding. They talk about this later. So he goes, oh, yeah, she sees what I'm saying. I can't trade 1 for 1. I can only trade 2 for 1. And so they continue to talk. I can't trade 1 for 1, but I can trade 2 for 1. And she's like, well, I wouldn't want this to be a Tucker situation, though. And he's like, ooh, yeah, it would be some America's player type shit. No. Okay, yeah. I think that's the move, huh? Huh, Morgan?
No.
And she goes, America's favorite player. I mean, it's funny. I was thinking about how like funny it would be if I used the veto on Vince. And he was like, oh, shut up.
No. No, Taran. When she says, I don't want this to be a Tucker situation, I'm like, she's back. Like, she's back. And she's like, well, America's favorite player does sound nice. I just feel like there are certain telltale signs in Big Brother that someone's trying to make you do something reckless. Is when they start talking about America's favorite and stuff like that. They really start leaning into like the glitz and glamour of what it's like to maybe be loved in Big Brother. But it is so hard to guarantee that. We could hate you for something you said week 1, and you could be trying your damnedest to get out of it and never have it. The show could not be airing you as much. There are tons of things that can keep you from being America's favorite. But whenever somebody hits that note, you should be like, well, why do you want me to be America's favorite all of a sudden? You know what I'm saying? Why you don't want it? What is it about me that made you feel like your antennas should go up? But instead, he's saying this 2 for 1 thing. Nobody understands what it means. It's provocative. It gets the people going. Morgan is the people. She wants to hear more about it. And she just starts leaning in. And I think Keanu is even there's even a moment where he's like, I I can't believe this is working. It's like, this should not be working. It's not working. You can't convince me that it's working because that would be crazy.
Tucker single-handedly set the state of Big Brother strategy back like a decade. Like, this man truly has done damage to the show. So Morgan is like, okay, well, let me go find Vince. And she leaves, and after she leaves, Keanu is like laughing at her for even considering this whole thing. It's just, I can't believe she's even considering this. They eventually find Vince. They pull him in. Can we run something by you? Finny, I'm scared. She says, first of all, this isn't happening for sure, but we're going over options. It's a very ballsy move, but I'm considering this as a way to save both of us. Do you know what it is? Of course, he knows what it is. He was with Keanu when he explained he was going to trick her into doing this. He goes, oh, what? I used the veto on you. You'd really do that? You'd actually consider it? Wow. I mean, I don't understand. How did we get to this point? Keanu says, well, I told her that I can't trade 1 for 1, but I can trade 2 for 1. And no, I'm not joking.
And Vinny's like, what do you mean by that? Okay, yeah, sure.
Vinny says, wow, this is my dream.
He's my 2 bestest friends to be working together is all I've ever wanted. The only reason I even got put up was because I was playing the middle between Keanu and Morgan. But now we can all come together to make sure I'm not on the block. And that is my dream.
Wow. And you know what's crazy about it is that it makes everyone happy. So what a great idea you guys have come up with.
Him trying to hide his smile as she's telling him is the fun, because he's got that devious mustache and it's twitching because he's like trying to keep from looking like this is the best day of his life. And so I think he has to lean into like, no, this is the best day of my life, but not for the reasons y'all think. Not because Morgan is about to sacrifice herself for me, but because now I can just work with everybody. We can all be happy. No one will be mad at this move. And that's all Vinny ever wanted. I'm such a selfless person. I just want everybody to like me and to like each other and to have a great time and to use the veto on me now. Use it on me. Give it to me. Let me have it.
Yes. And so they start trying to pump this up, get excited about it. Oh, man, this is so exciting. Keanu keeps calling it an America's favorite player move and pumping them up. And Morgan is like, yeah, I mean, okay. I mean, I'll need to talk to some people about it. And the mood immediately deflates. Like,
well, you should talk to
you gotta be careful.
You can't just tell people stuff.
Yeah, Keanu's like, well, you can talk to people about it, but you can't tell them about the reasoning because they won't understand about trading 2 for 1.
Because nobody does.
They won't understand that. And no, I'm not kidding. He said those things.
I mean, because he's not wrong. He knows this should not fly. We should not be having this conversation right now. You should have. The conversation should have been like Morgan saying, well, I'm definitely using the veto on myself. And he said, yeah, you're right. The end. That's it. Well, next conversation. But now you got Kelly being like, no, you should just do it. Just do it. Just do it and don't talk to anybody. Yeah, that's great. Just do that. Don't get any of your allies' input on it. This is a perfect thing for you to do by yourself without any smarter people or cooler heads looking at the situation.
Mm-hmm. So everyone's wondering, like, how true is this at this point? And we kind of have to continue to wonder as they continue their conversation. Now, while this is happening, as I mentioned, Ava and Ashley were talking. Ava told Ashley she is voting for her to stay. She does have the votes. Just don't do too much, Ashley. Just chill. So that's, again, the state of that. There is also a conversation between Ashley, Mickey, and Rachel that I thought was a little bit interesting where they talk about Keanu. Ashley and Ava and Will have already had this conversation that like, or it might have been Ashley and Will. They would never vote for Keanu no matter how many competitions he wins because he's such a terrible player. Mickey is also on board with this. They talk about how terrible a player Keanu is. Rachel disagrees, though. She said he's played hard. She would vote for him to win in the end, but they disagree. They would not at this point. So take that for what you will.
This is why I don't want Rachel on the jury. Rachel needs to be in the final 2 chairs because she should not be allowed to vote if she's going to be voting like this. I don't know who this man sits next to when she votes for him, unless her name is Kelly. I think Rachel has lost her damn mind.
So back to Morgan. She's now on her own. She's sitting on her bed and she's pulled out her M&Ms for herself and she's moving them around. And this is during the episode last night. She's moving them around. And she goes, yeah, I think it's the only move that makes sense. Use it on Vinny.
She showed her work. Now what, Taran? Now what? You said show your work. We got a close-up on the M&Ms. She moved a couple things around and said, my hands are tied.
He can't trade 1 for 1. He can only trade 2 for 1, so...
It makes sense. It makes sense. It's boom, boom, boom. I'm seeing look, the branding on this one, the t-shirts, the international implications, this could be big. 2 for 1. BOGO, like he's got an extra one here. I'm just saying, Taran, she's making points. I don't know what points they are, but they are points.
So Keanu lets Lauren and Kelly know because they're playing chess because that's literally all Lauren does all day is play chess. They're playing chess. He lets them know what's happening with this. Vince and I we think we're about to trick Morgan into using the veto, and then we put Ashley on the block. Like, oh my God. Letting them know that Vince is in on this. And they are like, okay, we're kind of in the middle of chess. Kelly's like, really? All this to help Vince? Really?
Kelly, hush. Hush, Kelly, hush. You don't have nothing else going for you right now. This is it. This is all you got. These ragtag group of misfits that's your bunch. Okay, that is it. If they got a plan to get Vince out of trouble this time, maybe just go with it. Maybe let Morgan do something stupid. This could be you going up. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think Keanu would do that, but I really wish it was. And so I would sit this one out. Let them have what they're doing. Let them play their games.
So Morgan is going to continue to contemplate this. She does briefly talk to Will. She talks with Mickey. Neither of them are really like putting a stop to this plan because like it's not being brought up seriously enough. And the idea that maybe Lauren would go up is appealing to both of them, I would imagine. So they're not really stopping the momentum. She then talks more with Vinny in bed. And she's talking it through and she's like, I really think this makes a lot of sense. And then there's a moment where she finally gets struck with a little bit of inspiration. She goes, wait, hold on. What if he doesn't put up Lauren? What if he puts up Ashley anyway? And you can see the panic in Vince's face. Oh, no, he wouldn't do that. He would never do that. That would be so stupid of him. Everyone would hate him afterward. Like, oh yeah, but he could do that. No, he wouldn't do that, Morgan. He wouldn't do that. Now again, just to remind you, because you might be like, wait, does he know? Because surely he wouldn't be going this hard, knowing that he knows that he's not. No, he knows. He was part of the plan. He knows. No, Morgan, he's definitely going to put up Ashley. Or sorry, to put up Lauren. He's definitely going to put up Lauren. It's obviously what he's going to do. He would never do anything else. I mean, if he did something else, that would be so terrible. I would be raging against him so hard. I'd be like, F you, Keanu. I would hate him so much if he did that. He would have to face my wrath. So obviously he would never do that. And no, I'm not kidding. And so she's like, okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, if he did that, he'd lose the game. Nobody would vote for him in the end. And he's like, yeah, exactly. So he would definitely put up Lauren. And so the little blip, Vince is trying to make sure she doesn't think that Keanu will screw her over. But then she goes and talks to Ashley. She's like, hey, Ashley. Now, it's important to note, part of the plan is, I will win favor with Ashley and Rachel too, because this is a move to keep Ashley off the block. They're going to be so happy about this. So she goes to Ashley And she's like, so I've been talking to Keanu, and I think, like, what if I use the veto on Vinny, and then if I do that, he puts up Lauren. And Ashley's like, that's stupid. He's just gonna put me up anyway. Don't do that. She's like, oh yeah.
It's like, okay, there's so much here. First of all, I think I was watching people, basically their reactions to this conversation on the timeline. And I think that people have been disarmed by the flirt mans that is in the house. That is, Morgan and Vinny allegedly. It seems like there's some warm feelings toward each other. There's a lot of hugging. There's long ass hugs, 14 seconds and longer. We've seen way longer. And you start to think that maybe Vinny is actually very invested in this romance. And to that, I would say Vinny is invested in him. And he will trample over this woman and her feelings in order to get that veto. And so when she starts saying things like, well, I mean, what changes if I just, use it on me? Like, how does that not change? He's like, something changes. Anything. Just don't do that. Like Keanu wouldn't do that, but like you can't deviate. Like he is trying to put this fire out, even though like it shouldn't even be a conversation. But he's like, he just any little thread that he can get, he's gonna just pull at it and pull at it and pull at it and pull at it. And everybody knows this is crazy. Ashley telling her like, hey, he's still going to put me up. Like people start questioning this throughout the day, and it really shouldn't even be a thing. There's no reason why Keanu should care about burning bridges. Nobody likes him already. They're like, everybody will be mad at him. When are they not? The whole premise of Keanu thus far has been everybody would put him up. Everybody would. Lauren just put him up. So even the same people that he's going out of his way to save could possibly put him on the block. He probably doesn't see the block if Kelly wins something, but that's about it. So for him, yeah, whatever. I burned all these bridges. I don't care. But that's Keanu making a big move in his mind, and it wouldn't matter. They're acting like Vinny's acting like his perception would be something that he really cares about, and it's just not. So I don't know. Morgan, she's lost in the sauce. I think there's a large part of it that is that AFP conversation. I think a lot of it is also the idea that she could save her dear friend Vinny. There's so many pros to this if it wasn't insane, but it also is crazy.
I mean, there's never been a more clear example of like if he'll cheat on her for you, He's just a cheater. Cheaters be cheating. That's it. He's a cheater, and he doesn't care about you either.
And we're not talking about her outside. We're talking about inside the game. Look how many people Vinny has screwed over. He's left and right, back and forth. He does not care. So now that Vinny is your ally, your number one ally, where is Zach, Morgan? Where is Adrian? Where are the people? Where are the other people that Vinny holds in high regard? Throughout the day, Taran, people will be appalled that Vinny put up, that Keanu put up Vinny, his best friend in the house. If Vincent's your best friend in the house, you don't have any friends. This man is not a friend to anyone except himself. Sorry. You gotta snap out of this.
Can we also just to be clear, he's doing this, all of this, because there's at best like 33% chance. Like he still is very likely safe this week. He's doing this on the off chance that he's not. He's willing to humiliate Morgan.
Just to get one step further. D don't care about these people. And then, the other added layer is that I guess the conversation came up that Mickey was like, yeah, Morgan, you definitely need the veto more than I need it. And Morgan's kind of like, how dare you insinuate that I would need the veto more than you? I have the votes to stay. Matter of fact, what if I don't even use it on me? I'll show you, Mickey, that I don't. Wait, what are we doing? Bring it back. This is the pettiness has gone too far. Where you're like, just to prove to you that I would have the votes, I'll use the damn veto on Vinny, and then I'll sit here and I'll stay, and then you'll look dumb because you'll see that I had the votes all along. Like, this is crazy. It's a crazy house of circus.
So Vince and Keanu, in the meantime, go up and start laughing and like cheersing each other. Oh, this is so good. We got her. Oh my God. Oh, this is working. And like Vinny's doing his like I'm being macho thing, like, oh, you ripped ass there, bud. Oh, did you rip a hole in your pants? Like they're just really like macho celebrating upstairs. It comes around to like Vinny being like, so I'm having trouble. What did you say that convinced her to do this? And Keanu is like, well, what I said was that if she uses the veto on you, then she definitely has the votes, but you don't have the. Well, that's actually not true, right? Yeah, sorry, no, that doesn't make any sense. What was that I said? I said that if she uses it on you, then I get that's not a 1-for-1. What did I say? And I kid you not, it takes them about 5 minutes circling through to remember even what he said. And Keanu's like, so yeah, I think what did I say? I said, because that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't, why would that have worked? It was something like I can't burn one bridge for another bridge. No, I can't trade 1-for-1, but I can trade 2-for-1, I think is something. And Vinny's like, oh yeah, I think that whatever you just said, I think that was it.
Yeah. I'm telling you, the branding is there. If first of all, if they can remember it, but like, I mean, put it on a hat, put it on a t-shirt, I'm just saying the way it struck Morgan, this man is an advertising genius. I have serious issues with the fact that we even had to explore all of this today, and the fact that Morgan would let it take off like this, right? And to get people behind it, like Vinny pushing it is bad for Morgan because that's one of her soft spots. And so you're really supposed to shut this stuff down before the little fingers of the world can get in your ear. And I mean, he is in her ear, like, do a thing that's bad for you and do a thing that's good for me. Okay, that'll be great, and I'd love you so much, and everybody else would love you, and it'd be perfect. And now we are dealing with that right now. But luckily, this cannot stand. This shall not.
Well, right? It's Keanu basically, after realizing that he couldn't even remember his argument, starts to go, yeah, I'm not, like, he starts to lose confidence that he can hold his ground here, because he knows that nothing what he's saying makes any sense, and he doesn't even understand how he convinced Morgan in the first place. He's like, well, maybe we should just convince her that it is fine for Ashley to go up and not Lauren. And he's like, well, no, because I don't think she'll do it if we tell her it's Ashley. We can't let her know that it's Ashley. She needs to think it's Lauren. He's like, I don't know. I just, I mean, she has to see that she can stay against Ashley too, right? Like, I think she'd be willing to do it. And Vinny's like, no. So and listen, we don't have to feel bad about lying. Like, we're doing this for her. We're doing this for her game. Like, she'll eventually understand that it is better for her to stay against Ashley. She will, and so even if Ashley goes up, it's better for her game that she does this. It saves us both. So we're really doing this for her. And that's like almost what sparks Keanu to be like, oh yeah, you're right. This is better for her. We should convince her of that. And he's like, no, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
Vinny sees that jugular exposed. And it's just like he's ravenous toward it. He's like, I need it. I gotta get that. Like, we're so close. We're so close. Yes, this is dumb. But what if it's not? What if I'm safe? That's all that matters here. Keanu, keep your eye on the prize. And she's not gonna go for this if it's not about it. Listen, it's about me being safe, Keanu. How do we make this best for me? And Keanu's like, but that's dumb. He's like, yes, but it's still good for me. I don't care if it's dumb. I want her gone. Like, it is so good. I think Vinny is such a big character in this season because of things like this. We want to talk about a self-interested Big Brother player. This man will trample all over you. But I would love to see how his game may or may not evolve or change once there is a jury. It's all fun and games if you cut Morgan here and you're able to kind of get away with it and like, okay, well, that was crazy. Got to do that thing. She's gone. She's not in the house talking about it. But next week, this stuff matters. The nasty, like, kind of like cutthroat gameplay he's playing, he has to be able to manage that with the jury, or they're going to all get to the end and it's going to be him that they're all talking about that they hate. If he really just plays with their lives like this, like in the game, and friendships and leverages all these things and the tears and stuff like that. You said it before, Taran, they're losing respect for him. And it's only going to get worse once they're all locked in the jury house comparing notes and talking about it. And so I'm okay with Vinny being a scumbag in this week, but he cannot continue to play like this. I just don't think it's sustainable.
Well, ever since she talked to Ashley, Morgan seems to be wavering on the idea. She talks to Vinny about it again. She's just like, I just don't understand why I have to do this. Like, it should be the same. We should be interchangeable, whether I'm on the block or you're on the block, Vinny. And Vinny doesn't have the magic touch that is, I can't trade 1 for 1. I can only trade 2 for 1. So he doesn't know how to counter this. He's like, well, maybe we should talk to Keanu again. I don't know. She also talks to Rachel, finally, because Rachel's been busy all night. And Rachel's like, that's dumb. Don't do that. You don't need to use the veto on yourself. That would be, or sorry, you don't need to use, you should use the veto on yourself. Like, that's like, everybody always goes home after they do that. It shouldn't, and this plan shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter who comes down. But the fact that Keanu is willing to put Lauren up at all is good for us. We should, instead of you using the veto on Vinny, which doesn't make any sense, why don't we just pitch an alliance, the 4 of us, if Lauren goes up? And then, like, that's, I mean, I think this is a good idea. Like, let's do this. Like, let's go and pitch this right now. And so they like run upstairs, and Rachel's like, oh, Keanu, what do you think about an alliance with the 4 of us? And Keanu's like, huh? I mean, what do you mean? Like, the 4 of us work together, moving forward. I mean, the 4 of us actually working together, that would be so powerful. And I assume this means you don't want Ashley on the block? What? I mean, that's not, I mean, I'm talking about working together. Obviously, I don't want Ashley on the block. So let me guess. We make an alliance, and I put Lauren on the block, or anyone. Okay. I'm not putting Lauren on the block, Rachel. I'm not doing that with Morgan in the room. And this gets more and more tense as he's like, are you coming after me if I put Ashley on the block? And Rachel's like, Morgan says, we're gonna give you guys some space to talk.
Yeah. Homer Simpson's out of the room. I hate whatever magnetism Rachel has to Keanu. It's kept him around way too long. Everybody will tell you I was very unhappy with the veto results. I mean, with the HOH results this week. I wanted Keanu gone. He's bad for Rachel's game in a lot of ways. There, like, he's just so he's so wrong about so much. But one thing he's really right about is that he's got Rachel over a barrel here. Like, she's like, I want Ashley to, he's like, I'm not saving Ashley. I'm not saving. It's not happening. She's going up. There's nothing you could do. And now Rachel cannot say, Keanu, if you do this, I am targeting you, because then it could just be Rachel. And that idea does kind of come into the consciousness for just a brief moment. And when I tell you, I screamed, Taran. I screamed. I'm like, Rachel, you got to let this go. You got to push, but you can't push too hard. But the man that got you in a tight spot, and that's why his ass should have been gone weeks ago. The blockbuster is the worst thing that ever happened to me, Taran.
Yes, well, despite that, Keanu's still here, and he just continues to try to bait Rachel. But they get into this whole thing as Morgan and Vinny leave. And Vince, after Rachel comes up there like that, is like, Rachel's ruining it. Why did she do that? And Morgan's like, I don't know. I just talked to her. I don't know. She just wanted to go up right now. I didn't think we should right now, but then she really wanted to, so I followed her. It's not my fault. It's like, oh, she's messing things up. But at this point, like, Morgan's like, yeah, she didn't think I should use the veto on you, because like, it's like, why does it matter if I come down or you come down? And again, Vince does not have an answer to this. And so the more she keeps talking about it, the more he keeps like slouching and slumping just a little bit more in the chair. I mean, okay. I mean, I don't know. I thought it made sense. I thought we were excited about it, but it's your choice. So
yeah,
okay.
I would never ask you to sacrifice yourself for me unless you're gonna do it. And then it's like, oh, well, you're not going to do it. Well, no, I would never put you in that situation either.
I would never feel comfortable asking you to do something like that. I'm telling you, I would never feel comfortable asking you to do something like that, Morgan. Yeah, yeah, because I mean, I don't think I should. Exactly, and I just want you to know, I would never feel comfortable asking you to do something like use the veto on me. I would never feel comfortable asking you to use the veto on me. I would never feel comfortable doing that. Maybe we should talk to Will about it.
That's why this man gets all these damn pep talks. He's like, look at the strain this is putting on me. I would never do that. For me, this would be like, sir, have some shame. I actually don't want him to have shame. I actually like Vinny as almost like this one-dimensional, like cartoon character of a player, because those are my favorite type of player. The players that you can kind of like nail their game down to like a quick paragraph and explain who they are as like a moment in Big Brother history. You know, like I think Rachel prior to this season was very easily explained. She was a person who's she's combative, she's loud, but she's like a competitor, right? And I think for Vinny, people are going to look back and be like, the man is a self-interested worm in the game. Okay, he is going to wriggle and squiggle his way through all these conversations and do no matter what. He is going to come out on top at the end. It doesn't matter who he has or what the back looks like. He's going to be at the front of the pack at the end of his day. And I appreciate that. I will take that. I think it's incredible to watch. It's exhausting to watch. I also think that it's really hard to probably win the game this way. But as like the baseball card, right? Like if this is Vinny's rundown and years from now, we're on the Diary Room podcast talking about if he's a good player or not, it's going to be really easy to talk about his pros and cons.
So he does get her to agree they should circle back later with Keanu to discuss options again, because he still thinks it's on the table. In the meantime, outside, Ashley, Mickey, and Will, and sometimes Rachel are out there just hanging out and gossiping about the cheat mans. Talking about like, can you believe like what they're doing? Ava counted 14 seconds for one of their hugs. I can't believe they're doing this. Ashley says, today I almost asked Morgan if she had feelings for Vince. Will says, oh, I'm so glad you didn't. I'm so glad you didn't. Will says, if I was doing that, I would be murdered. I would be murdered. Can you believe she's considering using the veto on him?
Taran.
Oh my God.
It's the way Rachel's eyes light up when she's like, do you think they're going to kiss? I'm like, Rachel. She's me. She is me. She's me. Like, I think Will said, like, if this fool kisses that woman on live TV on eviction night, we've seen a lot of crazy moments in Big Brother history. But if for some reason Morgan gets voted out after using the veto on Vinny, and they share a lasting hug on the way out after he just stabbed this woman in the back, and even you take it further and they kiss on eviction night, throw Julie Chen and Emmy today. I want it on her porch now. Okay. That's the type of stuff that we used to have trashy reality TV moments on TV, Tara, and we don't have them. I want that. I want the cinema of that. It's insane that we would get there, but this is the cast to give it to us. They have done so many things that have been just so outlandish in the game that I would love to see a world where maybe this does go the wrong way for Morgan. She does something, on brand for this cast and just not something self-interested. She does something kind of dumb. She ends up going out, and then we have to deal with the perception of Vinny as the person who is like hugging this lady as he walks her out the door, knowing it was his knife that took her out the game.
Yeah, and Mickey is in on this too. Mickey says she's been noticing how ridiculously close there. She's joking around about this too. Mickey says, guys, all you need to do if you want to send someone home, put him next to Vinny. Morgan will stop at nothing. Big crack out.
It's funny, but it's like, ha, 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 he, hell. Like, this it's so true. It's so true.
In the meantime, Keanu is starting to drop the pretense of the Lauren plan against Vinny's wishes, talking to Morgan like, so what if I did put Ashley on the block? And she's like, that wouldn't work. Like, no, I would not stay against Ashley. No, but what if we got Ava? And she's like, no. And Vinny's like, no, I mean, what? I think it makes more sense to do Lauren, right? Like, that's Keanu. we should do Lauren. And every time he's ignored in the conversation, again, just continues to pout. I'm just so hungry. And then Rachel's like, they're up there. So Rachel goes and interrupts their conversation. The second Keanu sees, he's like, oh my God, leave me alone, Rachel. I'm so sick of her. And then Rachel walks in and she's like, oh, you guys are talking. What are you guys talking about? And they're like, oh, just like about what to do with the veto. Oh, so what are you doing with the veto? Probably, use it on myself. Good. Yeah. So I guess we're not in an alliance then?
So that thing I made up that nobody cared about, that's not happening, huh?
And you can see like just the look of disgust on Vinny's face as he's just like, not disgust, just despair, just like, yeah. And she's like, so is Lauren off the table? I'm not doing Lauren, Rachel. I'm not doing Lauren. Like, and I don't know. I don't want you to do Ashley. Then who else? Who else? Continuing to try to bait her. Who else should I put up then? Who else? Who else should I put up? Who else? Tell me who. Tell me a name. Tell me a name, Rachel. Tell me a name. There are other options. Like who? Like who? Tell me, Rachel. Like who? You know. Ava? You want me to put up Ava? Yeah? I'm not putting up Ava, Rachel. Not putting up Ava. Leaves the room, runs downstairs, wakes Ava up, pulls her into the train room. Ava, I have some things to tell you. First of all, I'm not putting you on the block. But man, a lot of people are really pushing hard for you to go up. And they say they want to vote you out to protect Vinny. To protect Vinny and Mickey. Mickey was telling me earlier today, and Ava's just like, wow, yeah. Rachel and Morgan and Mickey and Ashley, they're all pitching you hard. They want you out. You're expendable to them. That's why you need to vote with us and keep Vinny this week, because you won't be expendable to us. She's like, wow. And this is tired Ava, which is a different person than not tired Ava. Wow. Okay, that's shocking. I mean, that sucks to hear, I guess. They're pushing me. Yes, they're pushing you hard, but I'm not going to put you up. Okay, thank you. Okay, well, I guess if that's true, that changes things. I guess I would vote for Vinny to stay. That's what we need you to do. Because they're all going to vote you out. If they're pushing this, Will's going to vote you out. Rachel's going to vote you out. Ashley's going to vote you out. Wow, okay. Yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to have to do this to you, but it's the truth. And she's like, okay, well, thanks for telling me. And she stumbles off. And Kelly was in the room. So she was like sleeping, or not sleeping, but she was in the bed. And Keanu's like, I just got Ava to vote to keep Vinny. I just got Ava to, he's like trying to fist bump Kelly. And she's like, okay, cool. We're still doing all this to protect Vinny.
Look again, Kelly, I'd say sit this one out, but she's making some points. Vinny does not care about either of you at all. He doesn't care about anybody. So you are doing a lot for Vinny to live. And also, Ava's half asleep. She might go to bed and like forget this conversation even happened. Like, this is like, you're not talking to the most aggressively self-interested player. There are some players who this would ruin their night. Like they hear this information and they're going to be up your ass. I just feel like Ava's like, you gotta like jumpstart her a little bit. You gotta prime the engine.
It definitely ruined Ava's night. But first, Keanu runs back upstairs to Vince and because Rachel left because he left as soon as she came in, basically. So she was like, oh, apparently he doesn't want to talk to me. He just wants to talk to you guys. So she leaves like, oh, they're up there to talk to you, Keanu. So he goes upstairs and and in the meantime, Vince was left alone with Morgan. He's like, so, I mean, if we can get Lauren on the block, you'll definitely, we can still make this work. And Keanu comes in, he busts in, he's like, guys, I just got Ava to vote for Vinny to stay. Plans off. We don't need to do it anymore. I'm putting up Ashley, and Ava will vote to keep Vince. And Morgan's like, oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. How did you do that? And Vince is like, no, she's not going to vote to keep me, guys. That's not, I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second. She's not going to vote against Will. Keanu's like, no, I told her. Will's going to vote against her. Morgan's like, what? Will's not going to vote against her. I'm like, no, that's what Mickey said. Mickey's wrong. Like, no, but I'm telling you, I told her that everyone's pushing her to go up on the block. And Morgan's like, I hope you didn't say I was pushing her to go up on the block. I mean, no. I said like people, like everyone is doing it. And that Mickey said, because I said Mickey said that Will was going to do it. Morgan's like, I don't really like this. Like, Will, that's not true. Will's not going to vote her out. And he's like, no, but the point is we have the votes now, so we don't need to do all of this. And Vinny's like, no, but I don't think that's true. I don't think we have the votes. I don't think Ava's actually going to vote for me.
He can't let it go. He was so close. He's so close to getting this gold. Okay,
Chappell, we are about 4 hours removed from the end of the night, and he has not let it go at the end of.
Never let it go. He will never let it go. You can't dangle that carrot in front of him like that. It's like it's right there, and it's like the only thing stopping me from doing this dastardly thing. Yeah, he like a cat. Yeah, like exactly. It's like he's drowning underneath the weight of it. Please,
let me have it. Come
on, baby. Please,
don't be mean to me. Do you want me to go? I need it.
Yeah, it's right there. He can't get to it. He's never gonna. I don't know. It's so fast because it's like I said, he's like almost animalistic. Like you see the precious, and there's nothing that's going to stop him from getting to it. And it's like we've moved on. That train left the station. We are going on to something else. Yeah, he is. The veto. He needs safety more than anything. I love it. I kind of love it. I would hate to play with Vinny, but watching other people have to deal with this type of stuff, it's fine with me. I'm okay with this.
So this continues to go on forever. It just continues back and forth from here. At this point, again, Keanu has completely dropped the pretense. Now he believes he has Ava, so he fully is not on board for the Morgan use the veto on Vince plan anymore at all. And Vince is so upset about it. Like, no, but I'm gonna go though. Like, I'm gonna go. Keanu, I need you to pitch it, please. I need you to pitch it for me. And Keanu's like, dude, it doesn't matter anymore. We have the votes. And he's like, no, I don't think we do. Keanu. And then he has to run to Morgan. He's like, Morgan, I just feel so upset and I'm hungry. And I woke up this morning thinking like, oh, does Morgan want me gone? Like, you don't want me gone, do you? And Morgan's like, dude, like you can start to see in this conversation a little bit like the attraction, if there is any, slowly fading.
Yeah, the ick is creeping in. It's like, hey,
there's a little bit of ick creeping in over the course of that night.
Yeah, well, Morgan should be looking at this man like he's pathetic because he is offering a pathetic human to her. So that automatically is going to give you some type of like, all right. But also, Morgan has finally worked out that this is not good for her. So it's like, not only are you coming at me like a pathetic worm, but you're also trying to get me to do something that's not in my best interest. And his best argument is kind of like, well, would you rather risk Ashley or would you rather risk me? And she's like, I mean, I'd rather not risk me. Like, why do I have to be on the table? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? What are you? Hello. And so, yeah, I think at this point, if anything's going to get Morgan off the Vince train, it's definitely this just energy that he has where it's woe is me, despite everybody else's feelings. Like you could be sad, you can be mopey and whiny and stuff like that. But when your whiny comes at my expense, that's when I'm like, all right, I don't know if I can, get off me. It's kind of like I got to sever ties with you a little bit. I don't know if it's fully you know, we're full of, like, she's fully off the train yet. But I agree with you. You could definitely tell there's like,
yeah, I would say it's a fairly subtle thing, and it could just be, you know, that she was tired and wanted, you know, but there was definitely a slightly different vibe to the two of them. They did share some long hugs still, but it did feel a little, the way she was talking to him was giving more mother than you know, affair partner.
yeah, whatever that used to be. Yeah, whatever. Soulmate. Some people say, I don't know who those people are. It's me. So yeah, the vibe changed a little bit.
So Keanu does then start to, like, he's completely off on a new track now. Like, I mean, if Rachel's gonna be so mad, why don't I just put up Rachel actually? And this is when Chappell is freaking out.
No, this is what I told y'all. I was like, this man is going to come back around to his primary motivation, which is pissing me off. And when he said that, I was like, also, well, when he said that, I had multiple feelings, but I was very upset. I was very upset because I was like, I told y'all, I was wrong. He is not coming after Rachel this week. But it did seem like if the ball gets rolling, this could be a thing we have to deal with. And I just can't live in that world.
He did come off of the idea fairly quickly. He still wants to shoot for the best outcome, which is Mickey leaves, doesn't piss off Rachel, everything's fine. So he's still kind of like not going to go on that path, seemingly. But you know, there is technically a few hours before the veto ceremony today. So that's kind of where he leaves off, Keanu. Though he does talk to Will in a little bit, which we'll talk about. In the meantime, Ava, having had her conversation with Keanu, talks to Lauren, who has already been informed by Keanu about telling Ava about everything. And so she's like, oh, should I go talk to her? So she goes down and talks to Ava. And Ava lets her know what Keanu said. And Ava's, again, very tired. So this conversation was a nightmare to listen to because it was Lauren at normal speed and Ava at 0.5 speed because she's tired. So it was like, yeah, so Keanu said that people like Rachel are pushing for me to go up. And Lauren's like, oh, yeah. I think that sounds like it could be true. What? Because that's something Rachel would do. And Ava's like, yeah, it does. It could be true. It's kind of shocking, but not shocking. I don't know who to trust right now. Like, Keanu could be lying. Like, yeah, he could be lying. And he said that Morgan is pushing for me to go. This game sucks. I don't know who to trust. And it just feels gross. And so that obviously lasts about 20 minutes. Morgan does interrupt them at one point to be like, hey guys, checking in. How you feeling? And is just overall super sketchy because she knew what Keanu said as well. And is trying to make sure that she wasn't thrown under the bus, essentially. And also trying to make sure that like Lauren, that Ava's not like been pushed too hard. And after she leaves, Ava's like, was she just checking in on me because she feels guilty for pushing me to go up on the block? And so, you know, this is how Ava's feeling. Now, that's where Ava stands there. Keanu then goes to Will because Vince keeps pushing like, well, why don't we talk to Will? What if we talk to, because Vince is still doing that. What if we talk to Will about this idea? And if Will promises that he'll vote to keep you no matter what, then you know that you can use the veto, because even if he does betray you and put up Ashley, then you know you're safe anyways. And Will might vote to keep you over Ashley. So let's at least talk to Will first before we decide on anything permanently. Keanu, though, talks to Will first, and he says, Will, if you had to choose between Ashley and Ava for one person to go on the block, who would you choose? Will's like, Ashley, Ava. Okay, yeah. Who would I choose? I mean, they're both pretty close. Yeah, but if you had to choose, if you had to name one of them, I mean, it's very close. So yeah, hard to say. Very close. Yeah, but you have to say one of them. Okay, yeah. It's just it was very very close. I guess I would say Ashley, but it very close. I'd put Ashley in the block, but it's very very close. I like them a lot. He's like, oh okay. Like basically does not fall for the trap, although might actually be telling the truth. Who knows at this point?
Yeah, that's what I couldn't tell. I was like, I don't think I felt like Will saw through it, but at the same time, like he is very close to Ava. You know, like this is a rock and a hard place for Will. So it's like he might just be being honest. Like, yeah, if somebody got to go, I guess Ashley's fine.
So then Ava finds Will to tell him about what Keanu said, and he's like, yeah, Keanu just came to me and said, who do I want up on the block between you and Ashley? And I said Ashley. And Ava's like, yeah, he said that like Rachel and them are pushing for me to go up on the block, but I don't know if it's true. Like, oh yeah, it could be true. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to bed.
Right. Finding Will after 10 p.m. He's like, hey, you got nothing here. I know you've commented on Will, several times over, just being like, he doesn't push when it's time to push. He lets things just go on a little bit too long. Sometimes he comes back around to like really defending his position or pushing his agenda. But stuff like this, I don't know if you should just be like, I'm going to bed. I think it's very clear that Ava's unsettled about this thing. And it would behoove you to make sure that she is not, even though it does feel like the alliance is basically turning on her. They would love for her to go up instead of Ashley. It's true. But like you leaving her with like, yeah, I don't know, bye. It's just going to leave her to go ask other people who she trusts less than Will, who she was now going to go get reinforced by other people, when he's the one who really has her ear. He could be the one to shut this down. And instead he's like, sleep on it. Don't sleep on that. Just talk about it. Talk about it right now. I think Ava's loyal to Will first and foremost in the house. I think if Will says we're good here, she goes with it. But I don't know if he hasn't made his decision yet or if he's just tired.
Who knows? Of course, there's plenty of time. But that's basically the night, except for the fact that there's going to be another like 3, I think, hours of Vince trying to beg and plead for Morgan to use the veto on him. But I would never actually ask you. I would never feel comfortable asking you to do it. But maybe we should just consider some of these options. And I just can't do it. I'm going to go home, Morgan. I'm going to go home. And do you want me to go home? I don't think, would you want that? And just like anytime he's not talking, again, he's just like,
resting,
pouting like I'm not kidding, like an 8-year-old.
He pouts with his whole body. You don't just pout with your face. You pout with every bit of your mannerisms. You gotta let people know that you're like, they have to see the pout from a distance. You can't just pout internally.
And that's the night. That is, it does not go anywhere. Morgan is still saying she plans to use the veto on herself. I'm sorry, Vince. I have to use it on myself. But, theoretically, there is still a couple of hours before the veto ceremony today. So stay tuned for that. But that is the day. There's a lot. Chappell, anything we missed? Anything else we should talk about?
Well, I mean, at this point, Ashley, even though she's going up, she's like walking around practicing her speech that we probably won't even see. But like, she's like, oh yeah, and when I get ready to get put up, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, you thought you ate that, but you still look hungry. Like her and Mickey are workshopping because they're moving on. Everybody else is like, okay, this is going to happen. What are we gonna do once it does? Whereas Vinny is still, like you said, hanging on to hope that like, I don't really care who goes up. Just take me off the block. I don't really give a damn what's going on. Just whatever it takes to get me off the block. So yeah, I enjoyed the day because otherwise I don't think there's anything to talk about. Like I think Morgan going down this like random ass rabbit hole about whether or not she should use the veto on herself. It's what's exhausting about these people, but it also makes the feeds a little bit entertaining. It gives you something to look at instead of just all sitting around singing songs. So I'll take it.
Chappell, they're trying to murder me.
I know, Taran. It's they knew you had a book coming out, and so
I haven't had a good night's sleep in weeks, Chappell.
This is how sequels are made, Taran. Now let me tell you something. You got your first book. It took you all of these seasons. It took you, all the way to this point to get to the book. But now you can write a whole separate book just about this season. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's think about the money, the branding. Think about it like trading one book for two. You understand? You get that? 2 for 1, right?
Wait.
2
What
for
you're
1.
saying is I shouldn't trade 1 for 1.
You should
Is
trade
that I can't trade 1 for 1,
right.
but I can trade 2 for 1.
2 for 1. 2 for 1. Exactly. Boom. There it is. There it is. It makes sense.
Okay.
It's
Okay. You got
provocative.
me going
You see
here.
it.
Okay,
You
that
see
makes
it.
sense, Chappelle.
Don't talk to nobody else about that.
Is this
Just
gonna be like? Is this like New York Times bestseller kind of stuff?
I think so. I'm just saying, like they're gonna love it. The people, it's gonna be big. I promise. But don't listen. Don't tell anybody else about this. This is just a me and you thing. Like this is
Just
they
us.
wouldn't understand. They wouldn't understand the pitch 2 for 1. They won't get that. That's the Taran
But
and
how are
Chappell
people
thing.
going to buy books if we don't
Hey,
talk to other people?
you asking too many questions. Whoa. Slow down. 2 for 1. That's all you got to remember.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. 2 for 1.
There it is.
You're right.
There it
I'm being
is.
silly.
Just
It's
saying.
2 for 1. Yeah, of
Just
course.
saying. Yeah.
Oh, people are mentioning Hatgate. So during the day, Mickey is wearing a little oh crap, what did they call them?
Fake T-core hat. I'm joking. It's like a crocheted hat.
It's a crochet, but it's like it's a particular kind of hat. But it looks exactly like a T-core hat.
Yeah.
And she's saying that this is a T-core hat, that she has been wearing a T-core hat, that she a bucket hat. Thank you. She has this hat from before T-core was even on Big Brother. I am not well versed in Hatgate, so please, I am not the source. I just know what happened on the feeds, which is that Mickey said that this is a T-core hat, but there are claims otherwise.
So people looked for the hat because T-core has, if we watched T-core's hats last season, we've been on her page, we've seen the material, so it's not like her typical style, and so people were like, oh well, let me go see where that hat is, and they found like almost like a replica or an image of a hat like that on Shein. The website that people use to buy clothes or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, so they saw the hat and they were like, oh, Mickey, that dastardly liar that she is. She did not buy a T-core hat. She bought a Shein hat and she's passing it off as a T-core hat. Get her out of the house. But Shein is notorious for finding other people's designs and being like, thanks, and taking them and putting them on the website and be like, oh yeah, like we totally made this. And there's also other hats. People have been doing the deep dives into T-core's pictures and stuff like that, and looking. Hatgate's a real thing, y'all. We're in it now. But I don't think there's enough evidence to say that Mickey is definitely lying. I think that there's a non-zero chance that she just got a hat like this, or saw T-core's hat, made a hat like it, or that T-core don't sell that type of hat no more. But just going off and just calling this lady a liar because she be lying all the time. Listen, fair points are made, but at the same time, I don't know if there's enough here to like make this a concrete thing. And maybe, just maybe, I will talk about it this week on The Slop with Rob.
Yes, which will be tomorrow night.
Yeah. The Slop will be tomorrow night. It's going to be a great time. Per usual, we get into messy things that are maybe not confirmable. This is
exactly the kind of stuff that the Slop gets into, because I'm not well versed in the is it a T-core hat? Just to be my stance on this, it's got to be a T-core hat, right? That would be a wild thing to lie about.
I mean, yeah, why would you lie about that? But at the same time, we've seen Mickey lie about other stuff that don't matter. So here's the thing. Here's what you do. When you want the facts of what happened during the day, you come to Taran's live feed updates every morning, and it's a great time, and you listen to all the guests, and they break down the stuff that you actually saw happen. But if you want the mess, the alleged, the speculative, the possibly completely made up, you come to the Slop behind the paywall, okay? Become a patron of RHAP and get the weekly Chappell and Rob content where we talk about things that may or may not be true. Things that might be happening outside the house. Facebook posts from family and relatives and maybe potentially ex-girlfriends and family and friends of family and all that kind of stuff. We do that on the Slop. You got to check that out by becoming a patron of RHAP. There you
go. In addition to that, of course, we'll be back tomorrow morning with an update. Tonight, we have the roundtable. So I'll have a survey out for all of you once the veto ceremony concludes. We'll be talking about this week with the players. We'll rate them. We'll talk about favorites. We'll talk about all the other stuff. So I'm sure there's going to be plenty to talk about tonight. One more thing about Ava, of course, it does seem like she is, back and forth here. The thing that I will say about what Keanu told Ava is that it is, I would say, a pretty big exaggeration from what the conversations were with Keanu. I anticipate that there's a high likelihood that there is going to be some back and forth on this, that people like Rachel and Ashley will vehemently deny having pushed hard for Ava to go on the block. Ashley in particular was very careful and has said that she was very careful about not pushing Ava in her conversation with Keanu. And I think that she will absolutely say so if she talks to Ava about it. Again, there's plenty of time. They know they need Ava's vote, so there's going to be plenty of conversation with her. Ava's not really the person to be cagey about why she's voting a certain way. So I expect there to be a lot of discourse about this, and I expect it to be really, annoying to keep track of, which is why I'm here. So you can stay tuned on the updates. That's about it.
And I'll be back for the roundtable. I'm coming tonight. I'm coming. I'm showing up. I'm here to tank your faves. It's hard to tank people who are already in the ones and twos, but damn it, I'm gonna try. Tune in to the roundtable and make sure you get your surveys done and all that good stuff. And we'll be back to talk about more Big Brother.
Yeah, who cares about Labor Day? It's Chappell Day here on RHAP. He will be joining us for the roundtable. So tune in tonight. Check out the survey. I'll post on Twitter and Blue Sky after the veto ceremony. Check out the book Behind the Mirror at taranarmstrong.com. You can find some Australian Survivor versus the world coverage over on my Patreon. That's about it. That's what we got for you. Check out The Slop tomorrow for some good Big Brother content. And that's got to be it for our supersized hour-and-a-half update. Thank you all so much for joining us, and I will see all of you next time.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.